So we got 3 clues today. Now remember, we began with the dollar holding at support and rising back up. It later came back down, of course, and went sideways. But at that time, it was supposed to tumble, but it didn't. Ended up going higher. And remember, we talked about this live in real time this morning in our morning prep. Where is the best place to use the dollar correlation? When the dollar is at support or resistance. And that's exactly what happened this morning with the dollar. Clue number 1 was the bear channel. A bear channel says sell those highs, buy those lows, look for the fake out breakouts. Second clue we got, previous day's range. Previous high of day right here, previous low of day right here, and where am I? I'm at the high. What happens when price goes above the previous highs and then comes down and fails? You got it, sell, 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 big time bearish signal. And then my third clue was the price wedge. And again, the price wedge tells me sell those highs. The bear channel with the price wedge is a huge clue. The biggest thing is, though, a price wedge tells me market personality, fake out breakouts. If we go up, we're coming back down. If we go down, we're coming back up. So what happened this morning is that we began sitting on hands on crude. In fact, we thought this morning that we might not get much out of the day today because if that dollar dropped, we were not prepared to buy at those highs, right? Not my cup of tea. I'm not going to buy the highs. I'll buy the lows, but I won't buy the highs. So we began our day thinking this might be a sloppy day for us. Well, sure enough, dollar holds, dollar rises. What happens? We then sell this thing off. It comes all the way down to the lows of the wedge. If you recall, we marked up a trigger zone right here. A what? A trigger zone. We go from the low to the high, and that gives me my retracement area right here. And when we made ourselves back into that trigger zone, I bought there and brought it right back up, then sold it again. So we traded the highs, sold the highs, we bought the lows in the zone, and we used the dollar index every step of the way today, guys. Excellent job. Just when you think this economy is tanking here, we get jobless claims below 400,000. So here we go. We're going to go through the highs here now. And this was a big clue because right about now at 9 o'clock, what's happening? Crude's opening up. Dollar now tried to drop. Dollar now is rising back up. And we jump into a 2-step pattern short, selling below the previous high of day. The entry here is not above the previous highs. It's below the previous highs. That way we're selling below the previous highs, sellers in charge, below the channel highs, sellers in charge, and of course now the dollar correlation is working out perfectly. This is going to bring me down to that trigger zone. And of course that's my target. So I know the trigger zone is where the price is going. Right? It always does. Very predictable. 2-step pattern short, that gets me 24 ticks. And at 9:36, we had to wait a couple minutes after the 9:30 open. And it was great because this morning I said, well, right off the bat, we're doing much better than we did yesterday because the price action was consistent. We go down, make a new lower low. This is an easy trade here, a wave pattern short, 20 more ticks at 9:43, and then we'll come down, and I'm always going to buy that as support. Now you can't see the pattern right here, but the pattern ultimately was a 2-step pattern long off the 13 range chart. It's a 21 range chart, so you can't see the pattern right here, but I took the trade long, buying at the lows for 21 more ticks. So once again, we come down off the highs. Remember, our plan was wait for that dollar to rise off support. Remember, dollar at support? What was it? That's right, crude at resistance. Dollar support, crude resistance. Dollar support, euro resistance. Dollar support, gold resistance. Dollar at support, looking to sell, resistance on gold, crude, euro, Russell. Here we are. I'm selling here now at that high, 2-step pattern short, wave pattern short, down to the trigger zone, 2-step pattern long. I then get back in once again, mark up your swing high right here. This was a fast track trade we took together today, right? 2-step pattern long, because again, what happened? At this point now the dollar is at the high of that range. It worked out perfectly. Meanwhile, here we are at the trigger zone, so we're expecting this thing to go back up. Dollar worked out perfectly for this. 2-step pattern long, we make 30 more ticks.